Yes crew, this is your boy Stanton and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to make a pad from scratch with some cool techniques to get some movement and lots of modulation and effects in there. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay guys, so first of all let's just open up Serum. I've already got a chord written in there, a little F minor triad. So first of all, I'm going to choose sine wave just because I like that nice organy tone. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fine tune down by 24 cents. I'm going to put the detune amount to around 10. And I'm going to push up the voices to around 8. And as you can hear there, we've got more of a spreaded sound, so we're making use of the stereo field. And we can see this because if we just whack on the ozone imager, if we play the chord now, we can see all this blue information here is spread to the left and right. But if you just put it on one voice, you'll see that the sound is just going through the center of the mix. So just push those voices back up to 8. Get rid of that ozone imager now. And then from here, we're going to add in a saw wave. Reason being, I like my pads to sound a little bit raspy, so the saw wave is perfect for that. If you just listen to the wave by itself, it's got that nice raspiness. So just going to push that up to 8 voices, turn on oscillator A again, and then I'm going to fine tune it down by -26, and then I'm just going to put the detuning to around 10 again. And then from here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in some noise. It's entirely up to you which one you choose, just because I feel like it gives it a little bit more of an analog feel to it, give it that analog hiss. I always choose the J106. Then from here we're just going to go over to our filter, make sure A and B and the noise oscillator is being sent there. Just going to choose a low 24. Close up the filter again to around 100 Hz. And then on envelope 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag over the envelope to the cutoff. And then I'm just going to give it a 1 second attack time, just because when we're making pads, we want it to fade up, so sweep up. And then I'm just going to pull the modulation amount down. And then from here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to boost the resonance a bit so we get a little bit of a resonance sweep in there. Make it sound a little bit more warpy. And then I'm going to boost it with the drive. Give it a little bit of fatness. And then we can just fiddle around with the cutoff, the modulation amount. just so we get it right. So that's sounding cool. Now I just want the sustain to dip down a little bit, so I'm just going to pull the sustain down here on envelope 2. That's sounding pretty nice. And then I'm just going to give it a bit of a release. Excuse the CPU usage. And what we could do, we could just add in the sub. Just changing the waveforms there. Liking the sound of that. So we'll go with that one, and like I say, just make sure it's being sent to the filter there, just with that little blue box being lit up there. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to LFO1 and I'm going to start adding some movement to the filter cutoff. And you know, if you just go down to this rate here, I'm going to put on a bar there, just because I don't want it too fast. That's sounding nice. And if you want, what you could do is you could start editing the LFO shape as well with these little plot points here. Or you can make them go inward if you like. So you can create your own there, or you could go to the folder and start using the shapes in here. You know, if you wanted to sign. You could even have a square there. It's entirely up to you. But I'm just going to go back to the triangle. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put LFO1 on the detuning amount. On both oscillators there. And if you see there, just play around with the variations on the modulation amounts. So I've got it on 10, and on this one, I've got it on 15. That's sounding pretty cool. Now, what we could do is we could start using LFO2 and we could start modulating the wavetail positions. So let's just do it on the analog BD. And we can do the same on oscillator B as well. As you can hear there, it's really starting to get a bit more movement in there, and it's starting to like evolve. just dial back the modulation amount as well. Let's say experiment with the modulation amount as well. That's sounding pretty nice there now. Now what we could do is we could start adding in some effects. So we go on the dimension expander and give it a little bit more width. Make it sound really big and lush. Give it some size. If you can see that I'm only being very subtle on the mix and the size and everything. Could add in some flanger as well. Now, when I'm making my pads, I always like to add in some flanger, phaser and chorus. Reason being, I like to listen to a lot of old school jungle, and my style as a producer, I'm very much into garage, house and tech house. So, like I say, I've always got those old school jungle and old school garage, you know, influences in there. Now, if you listen to all the old school jungle tunes, you'll notice on the pads, if you do some critical listening, you'll hear flanger, phaser and chorus modulating. So it's a good little tip for you there. So we can start modulating the mix with LFO3. And then we can just dial the modulation amount back. And then same again, we can add in some phaser, do the same. And then from here what we can do, just add in a bit of chorus. And then from here, let's just add in some reverb, give it a little bit of space. Keep the hall selected if you want to imitate the space of a hall. Give it a little bit of increase on the decay there. Add in some delay. Just going to pull down the filter a bit here. And then what we can do now is we can start taking the waveforms a little bit further as well. So if you just go into this little box here with the pencil in, we can start creating our own custom waveform. So if you go to these bins here, we'll be able to do that just by pushing them up. Just put that on 50% on that one. And as you can see there, the waveforms started to get more curvature in there. So started to make it our own. And then let's whack this up on bin 3 to around 25. As you can see, more curvature. And you can just play around as well. You know, see which is right for you. And what we could do is we could just copy over the settings there and then select oscillator B and paste it over, so that oscillator B now has the same waveform settings. Or let's say you could go back in and, you know, maybe boost bin 1 to around 70. Let's just try it out. Kind of like the sound of that. Let's just see what it sounds like on 50. Keep going. And then that's pretty much it, the sound, guys. But what we could do is we could start bending the waveforms inwards or outwards using this warp here. So let's just bend it inwards a little bit. And we can see that it's bending because the waveform here, it looks like it's got little shimmers in it. Then we can go to oscillator B and do the same. So there we go, guys. That's how I make my pads. Okay guys, so just to recap, we've looked at making a nice sine saw wave pad, which is quite organy and has a little bit of raspiness in there. We've also looked at using some effects modulation on the filter cutoff, also on the wavetable positioning and the tuning parameters, and also we've looked at bending the waveforms inwards as well. And we've also looked at creating our own custom waveforms on the wavetable editor. Go away today, take what you've learned from this session and start implementing this sound and these techniques into your own tunes on your own pads. Let me know in the comment section below which is your favourite tune with some big luscious pads in. If you want to get my help personally, you can shoot me a message on Instagram or on Facebook and we can chat some more over there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.